do some Unreal Engine. Na na na. Hey. Oh, this is the wrong monitor. Whoops. Let me grab the right monitor here. Okay. Here we go. Time to start. So we're going to continue with this pinball game. I'll put on some tunes. I don't want the display to have the filter anymore. Well, it's kind of interesting like that, huh? You still kind of see me. But we're going to turn it off. There. Didn't really think about this part. I should probably fix the filter on myself. Wait. I'll put on some tunes again. Na 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 na. That's a little too quiet. Hey. So the last thing we were doing was importing the splines.
And the ball would still fall out. Which would be some nice behavior, because it would go and drop. So that's the first section, but let's actually get this working a little bit nicer. There are two extra little features that I'm going to add. The first is that if it's the rail start mesh, I want to have the ability to set a custom scale for the mouth of it. So to do that, all I need to do is get a reference to the current mesh component that we're looking at, which I can get from here. So I'm going to get this, and I'm going to set scale. For this lesson, we're going to be looking at the spline tool. It's one of the most powerful yet underutilized tools within Unreal Engine 4. So for this, I'm going to need to import a couple of extra assets. I'm going to be importing rail end rail mid, and rail mouth
That's it.
to start with. For these,
So let me grab them. Pinball assets. Rail end, rail mid, and rail mouth.
for these, I will auto-generate collision for the time being.
And you know what? I think we're gonna have to move my chat over here. That way I can have this as full screen.
For these, I will...
Let's make sure everything is the same as how he has it. Doop-de-doo-de-doop-doop-doo.
auto-generate collision for the time being. We'll see how it performs before assessing whether it's going to work or not.
Did he do import all or import?
Performs before assessing whether it's going to work or not. So we have 3 assets. Before going any further, I'm just going to quickly go into these and set some things up. First off, for each one, let's set the material to just be that simple metal. Next, I'm going to check out the actual collision mesh.
Does he have it on simple?
With the material to just be that simple metal. Next, I'm going to check out the actual collision mesh. Now, this is definitely not going to do. So for this, I'm going to try generating high hull vertex collision. I'm going to try generating high hull vertex collision. This is still not amazing, but it'll definitely do for the project. So in this instance, I just had to set the max hull verts up reasonably high to get something that was going to work.
Let me check something here. I don't know what this is loading anymore. Okay. Put this up a little bit. Not sure if anybody can actually hear. Testing, 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 testing. Is my mic? Testing. Testing. Oh, there we go. Yeah, much better. Yeah. Yeah.
I mostly care about an object coming down towards this and then falling. So I'm going to save that, at which point I'm going to open.
I don't know if this is the same as what he's seeing. This looks a little different.
X collision.
Because he has like this accuracy thing. I don't see that. Man, why do I do
So we have 3 assets. Before going any further, I'm just going to quickly go into these and set some things up. First off, for each one, let's set the material to just be that simple metal. Next, I'm going to check out the actual collision mesh. Now, this is definitely not going to do. So for this, I'm going to try generating high hold. X collision. This is still not amazing, but it'll definitely do for the project. So in this instance, I just had...
Why is this? What's up with the internet? Plugin not supported. The fuck? Let's do shields down.
work. I mostly care about an object coming down towards this and then falling. So I'm going to save that, at which point I'm going to open up rail mid. Collision. Delete it.
Wait, delete what?
Falling. So I'm going to save that, at which point I'm going to open up rail mid. Check the collision. Delete it.
I don't think I need to do that anymore.
Let's track gen. Generating one for this as well. That'll work for us as well. So we hit save. And then I'm gonna go into the last one. Oops, I forgot to set the material on this one. There we go. I'm gonna go to rail mouth, which is just a slightly wider version of what we've already got. I'm gonna punch up the verts. I'm gonna generate on this. Yep, that'll do now. Nicely. I'm gonna save. And now it's time for us to start generating the actual blueprint. Oops, once again, same mistake. Simple metal has to be said. So, I'm going to go to blueprints, and I'm going to start looking at how to use an actual construction script. So, new blueprint class. Once again, it's going to be an actor, and I'm going to call this BP_rail. So for BP rail, we're first going to be adding a new component, which will be a spline. So click on add component and type in the word spline. Now there are two options here. There's splines and spline meshes. Now a spline refers to a shape that is the actual line that you draw through the world, whereas a spline mesh refers to a single mesh that will be kind of bent to follow a line that's given to it. you give it a start position, an end position, and the directions, and it'll try and warp the mesh to its shape. So in this case we want to add a spline, but later down the track we'll be adding spline meshes programmatically. So I'm going to add a spline, and I'm going to set it to be the root component. And this is what you will see. Now for this initial work,
Wait, what?
we'll be adding spline meshes programmatically. So I'm going to add a spline, and I'm going to set it to be the root component. And this is what you will see. Now for this initial work, I'm going to get this, and I'm going to drag this out to be slightly longer and make it 300 units long. This will make a little bit more sense in just a moment. I'm also going to right click on this and add a spline point here where I grab and get 300 units long. This will make it a little bit more line, but later down the track to be the root component. And this is what you will see. Now for this initial work, I'm going to get this, and I'm going to drag this out to be slightly long.
Oh, I didn't need to do. Okay.
Longer and make it 300 units long. This will make a little bit more sense in just a moment. I'm also going to right click on this and add a spline point here where I grab and I'm going to drag this up. So we have kind of like a basic arch. So if you missed what I just did, I right clicked and I hit add spline point here. And this is the shape that you should have on screen. Should be reasonably straightforward. So I'm going to hit compile, save, and I'm going to go to my construction script. Now essentially what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my construction script and I'm going to run a for loop. Now this for loop is going to do something that is, it's going to look at this spline and it's going to calculate how many of these points there are in it. Now at the moment we have 3. And for every point that's in there, what we're going to do is...
This is not a for each loop, this is a for loop.
is iterate through and add a mesh that connects to the next point. Now what this means is that we don't want to count the last point because it doesn't have a point beyond it. So we actually want to do the length minus 1, which means if we're doing a for loop, we're not actually doing length minus 1, we're doing the number of points minus 2 because the index is 0, not 1. So we're counting from 0 instead of counting from 1, which means we get a reference to the spline, we get the number of points, at which point we subtract 2 from 1, which means we get a reference to the spline, we get the number of points,
Number of spline points.
at which point we subtract 2,
What?
and I set the last index in our for loop to be the number of points minus 2. Then,
Wait, what? Oh, not that one.
and I set the last index in our for loop to be the number of points minus 2. Then, for each point, what I need to do is add spline mesh component. Now for this spline mesh component, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be setting this to be the rail. For the time being, I'm going to set all of them to be the rail mid, but I'll work on better behavior in a moment. So we have the initial spline mesh component. However, we need to go ahead and actually set the rest of this so that it correctly warps along the spline. Now this is where we start looking at the start and end. So I'm going to get this spline mesh and I'm going to drag off of it. I'm going to type in set start, and you'll see that we have a nice function called set start and end. And when we get this, it actually gives me a start position, start tangent, end position, and end tangent. And we need to set these to correspond with our actual mesh, which means what we need to do is, let me just give myself a little more room here. What we need to do is get the point on the spline that we're looking at, get its position and tangent, and then get the next point on the spline that we're looking at and get its position and tangent. So the nice way that we can do this is to actually get a reference to the spline, get point, and you'll see that we have a couple of things here. We have get location and tangent at spline point, and all I need to do is say at the point index, set that to be the start and the tangent.
What? So put that here. Okay.
Now at the index +1, duplicate that, and all I need to do at the point index, set that to be the start and the tangent. Now at the index +1, duplicate that, and reconnect the spline.
Oh no. What the fuck? Seriously? I accidentally closed the full fucking Udemy window. Stupid.
Work. I mostly care about an object coming down towards this and then falling. And for every point that's in there, what we're going to do, so we actually, instead of counting from 1, we subtract 2. It rest of this, I'm going to type in set start, and you'll see what we need to do on the spline. Get a reference to the spline, location and tangent at spline point, set that to be the start, and the tangent. Now at the index +1, duplicate that and reconnect the spline. At the index +1, I'm going to set that position and tangent. At which point, all I need to do is hit compile, save, and if I look in the viewport, you can see that it's actually getting this mesh and it's warping it along it.
No, it's not what's happening at all. Why would this even know? What the fuck? Did I? There's no reference to that at all. Why would it know to get that fucking thing? I don't understand. I totally missed something here. I don't know what he's talking about. Where is he? How does this know?
So click on Add Component and type in the word spline. Now there are two options here. There's splines and spline meshes. Now a spline refers to a shape that is the actual line that you draw through the world, whereas a spline mesh refers to a single mesh that will be kind of bent to follow a line that's given to it. You give it a start position, an end position, and the directions, and it'll try and warp the mesh to its shape. So in this case we want to add a spline, but later down the track we'll be adding spline meshes programmatically. So I'm going to add a spline, and I'm going to set it to be the root component, and this is what you will see. Now for this initial work, I'm going to get this, and I'm going to drag this out to be slightly longer and make it 300 units long. This will make a little bit more sense in just a moment. I'm also going to right click on this and add a spline point here, where I grab and I'm going to drag this up. So we have kind of like a basic arch. So if you missed what I just did, I right clicked and I hit add spline point here. And this is the shape that you should have on screen. Should be
Good morning, Guerrero. What's going on?
Compile, save, and I'm going to go to my construction script. Now essentially what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my construction script and I'm going to run a for loop. Now this for loop is going to do something that is, it's going to look at this spline and it's going to calculate how many...
Why does this keep on freezing?
these points there are in it. Now at the moment we have 3. And for every point that's in there, what we're going to do is iterate through and add a mesh that connects to the next point. Now what this means is that we don't want to count the last point because it doesn't have a point beyond it. So we actually want to do the length minus...
Yeah, I'm working on the that pinball thing again. Trying to get this. Oh. These splines I got. Somehow he magically connected the... I'm supposed to be seeing something right now in the viewport, and I'm not seeing it at all. Like, I don't understand. Yeah.
minus 1, which means if we're doing a for loop, we get to be the rail. For the time being, I'm going to set all of them to be the rail mid.
That's the part I missed. Okay. Yep. I was like, where do I attach the static mesh? I'm like, I don't know. Realm. Okay, there we go. That's cool. Ooh. Bendy.
But I'll work on better behavior in a moment. So we have the initial spline mesh component. However, we need to go ahead and actually set the rest of this so that it correctly warps along the spline. Now this is where we start looking at the start and end. So I'm going to get this spline mesh and I'm going to drag off of it. And I'm going to type in set station and end tangent. And get the on the spline. And you'll see that at the index that instead that is hit world. Now I'll show you that in the actual stage. To do is hit compile, save, and go to the viewport. You can see that it's actually getting this mesh and it's warping it along it. And if I was to hold down Alt while dragging this out, I'd be able to actually draw a bigger spline into the world. Now I'll show you that in the actual stage. So I'm going to get the rail, I'm going to drag it into here, at which point we see this. Now if I click on the spline ending here, I go to my translation widget, and I drag it to here, you can see that I'm actually able to kind of...
What?
World. I'll show you that in the actual stage.
Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. You like this tutorial, Guerrero? Dark Jester seems to not like it.
So I'm going to get the rail, I'm going to drag it into here, at which point we see this. Now if I click on the spline ending here, I go to my translation widget, and I drag it to here, you can see that
I don't understand what he's grabbing here. This? Oh, neat. I can just like bend it all I want. Oh, weird. Why is it doing that? Huh. Make it longer. Ah. Cool. Seems like it's like fucking up when I do it that way though. Instead, should I make it like initially longer? Oh, I'm grabbing the wrong part. Let me see. Oops. Alt drag? Oh man. Look at that. That's fucked up. Wait. But wait, no, that's the wrong thing. I don't want to grab that. Yeah. But look what it does when I grab the spline. That's funny. Oh shit. That's like a monster. Well, if I go to the this thing, I can add more points. That's the blueprint, right? Add spline point.
actually able
Here, I'll show you what he's showing me.
to kind of move along the spline. I can alt drag to bring in new points, but I can essentially make some really interesting shapes that we can use to kind of feed the bumpers.
Oh, that's what
bring in
that's
new
what
points.
that's what you were
But I can
saying.
essentially make some widget, and I drag it to here. You can see that I'm actually able to kind of move along the spline. I can alt drag to bring in new points, but I can essentially make some really interesting shapes that we can use to kind of feed the bumpers within the game. If I hit go, this is what we would see in this case. So I could set up some really cool stuff that if the ball kind of came into here, it would then roll through and then drop out and do whatever it wants. Now, to get this working well, we need to consider...
Hey, what's up, Dark Jester? We're just trying to get the ball rolling. Pun intended.
doing a couple of extra things. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my construction script, and I'm going to look at this spline mesh component, and what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do a quick check. And what this quick check is going to do is it's going to see if the piece that's there is also the index 0. So I'm going to see if the current index is the index 0. And the reason I'm going to do that is because...
So I think today is going to be a lot more fun. Now we're going to be putting all this shit into the board. So it's going to be cool. We're going to get the ball moving all over the place. I want to put in a bunch of objects and see what we can do with this. I'm excited. I'm gonna fix this though. I fucked it all up. Let's delete that one. Grab the spline point. And let's move this over. You know what would be easier? Top. So we're gonna have to figure out where the ball usually rolls to. Yeah. I don't know where it's gonna roll. Probably not like that. Hey, you want to see if we can get the ball in there just to like, for shits and giggles? See like where it goes? Wait. So it seems to want to go over there. Ah. Oh. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. Why don't we, can't have that happening too much, huh? Oh wait. Is this different? I forgot how they had this. Oh, that, the fuck? Does that seem right? That doesn't seem right. I forgot how I made these walls. I don't think it's really a wall. That's a problem. It's a, it's a box, right? And, just have to expand this thing, right? Oh. Well, we're gonna have to move everything. That's not gonna work. It's a little bit too high. Let's make it a little bit shorter than that. Place a box on top, make it hidden in game. That's a good idea. My chat is like up here right now. That's why I keep looking up. That's a great idea. Let's just do that. Although, I still need a little bit more room. I feel like I think everything's like a little bit like taller. So I should make it like a little bit taller. Then what we do is just move this up, right? The fuck is this thing? Left is actually front. So we want bottom. Or not bottom, front. That seem right? Well, there really shouldn't be that divot there, but I guess that's okay. Actually, you know, that probably will work fine, right? Oh, it's even cooler. Now you can't even see the ball. Secret balls. Oh. Alright. And then, planning this is going to be pretty hard. Alright, I got an idea. I just want to see it go in here. Let's just, put it over there. Oh. That didn't work. Does it need to be bigger? I mean, I put collision on it. There should be collision. I don't understand. Was it not hitting it? Oh, the collision just sucks. That's what it is. You see, it went inside of it for a second. Wait. Yeah, you're right. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just continue. Yeah, I did. Wait, which one did I actually use? Yeah. Okay, fuck it. Let's just continue with the shit. What's he gonna tell us to do here?
If it is the index 0, I actually want to set the scale to be a different mesh. So we can have an intro piece, and we can also do the same thing with an outro piece. So we can set the static mesh according to whether it's the first position, the last position, or if it's the mid position. So I'm going to get this fine mesh component, and I'm going to add a simple branch.
I'm gonna clear my throat here.
I'm going to open these up.
Okay.
Just pull them down a bit. And all I'm going to do here is, my first condition is checking if it's the first piece. So it's going to be saying, is this index equal to 0? Now if that's true, what we want to do is set the static mesh for this. Space that out just a little bit.
Hmm.
We're going to set the static mesh for this, and
Wait,
then
did I turn
continue
the
with
mic
what
back
we
on?
would
Oh, I
normally
did.
do.
Okay.
And the static mesh is going to be equal, I'm going to promote this to a variable, rail start mesh. And I'm going to set this to be the rail mount. Now, if this
All right. Okay. All right. Let's just do this.
I'm going to open these up. Just pull them down a bit. And all I'm going to do here is, my first condition is checking if it's the first piece. So it's going to be saying, is this index equal to 0? Now if that's true, what we want to do is set the static mesh for this. Space that out just a little bit.
Wait, what?
We're going to set the static mesh for this, and then continue with what we would normally do. And the static mesh, so it's going to be saying, is this index equal to 0? Now if that's true, what we want to do is set the static...
Oh, I thought he grabbed it from... Okay, that was confusing.
mesh for this. Space that out just a little bit. We're going to set the static mesh for this, and then continue with what we would normally do. And the static mesh is going to be equal, I'm going to promote this to a variable, rail start mesh. And I'm going to set this to be the rail mount.
Wait. Rail mouth.
Now, if this is false, let's then check to see if it's the end piece. And if it's the end piece, we'll do an operation on it as well. So, how do we check if it's the end? That's simple. All we need to do is check if this index is equal to the very last piece that it's going to check through, which is equal to that. At which point, I'm going to duplicate my branch, I'm going to connect this to here, and if this is false, I'm going to set the static mesh. So I'm just going to duplicate this. If that's true,
Like, what's the difference between Control W and Control C, Control V? Is it just a quick way of doing that? Or is there something about Control W that's like different? You don't think it's different? Yeah, I didn't think so either.
you set the stat.
It's a good song right here. What is this? Yeah, I guess like it's just a quick way of like it saves you like one hotkey, right? So then I don't have to do Control C, Control V. What is this song? It's a good song. Purple Phase. I'm gonna add it. Here.
Of this component to be equal to. It's getting a little bit messy. I should really clean this up.
Yeah, you should clean it up. You're not teaching me how to clean anything. Fucking.
Add a reroute note there and kind of connect it that way. And if this is true, what we want to do.
Wait. Oh, I see what he did. He just deleted this one. Or, no.
Is promote this to a variable. And this is going to be called rail end mesh. Compile. I'm going to set this to be rail end. And if that's true, we're going to go straight on through and connect that. And the last piece that I'm going to do is if this is then false, we're going to set the static mesh to be equal to the general mid piece. So set static mesh. We're going to set the mesh of this target, so that's hooked up. So if that's false,
Oh, this is redundant. No.
this will then connect through to here.
I don't understand. Why don't you just do the same thing here? Can't you just have, like, a point? Is that the same thing? That looks a lot nicer. Just move the point.
And I'm going to promote this to a variable, which is just going to be called rail mid mesh. Compile, save. And if I look in the viewport now, you can see that the end has this shape. So if I look at what we've got here, oh, I missed a piece. I'm going to go back to my construction script, and I'm going to set the default variable for the rail mid mesh.
Yeah, I was ahead of you on that one,
Save.
buddy.
And if I look at this in the world, I'm going to go into unlit. So you can see it a bit better. You can see that this opening has that wide section that we had created for that first mesh, and that the end section now has this cap on it, which means if I wanted
No, that's not happening for me. Let's get rid of it. Why did I feel like something's fucked up. Something is definitely fucked. Why does his look like that? Why would it like promote the spline mesh component to a variable and hook those into other nodes? Promote the spline mesh component to a variable, hook those into other nodes. These things? This? Which one do I promote to a variable? The return value? The result? What? How would this work? Well, alright, before we start cleaning it up, I want to find out why it's not working. I mean, I know cleaning it might help a little bit. Do you think this would... is this different than me just plugging this in one by one? Is that different? Now, I want to learn how to clean stuff up. I want to figure out why I did the same thing he did and it's not working. Which has been the story for most of the time. Are your meshes set to the right static meshes? Yeah, I mean they should be. Rail start. Wait. Yeah, mouth. End. And mid. Let's take a look at the video here. I'm gonna grab the video.
This target, so that's hooked up. So if that's false, this will then connect through to here. And I'm going to promote this to a variable, which is just going to be called rail mid mesh.
The condition input of my branches might be wrong. Condition input of my branches might be wrong. Oh. Huh. Okay. Well, let's see what he did for his. Let's go back.
First piece. So it's going to be saying, is this index equal to 0? Now, if that's true,
time out.
the first piece. So it's going to be saying, is this index
Equal integer. Isn't that the one I used? No? It's the same shit, right? Okay, well,
equal to 0? Now, if that's true, what we want to do is set the static mesh for this.
should be last index.
Space that out just a little bit. We're going to set the static mesh for this and then continue with what we would normally do. And the static mesh is going to be equal, I'm going to promote this to a variable, rail start mesh. And I'm going to set this to be the rail mouth. Now, if it's, how do we check if it's the end? That's simple. All we need to do is check if this index is equal to the very last piece that it's going to check, which is equal to...
Wait, that's the one I didn't do. See? There's always one little thing I forget. Wah.
At which point I'm going to duplicate my branch. I'm going to connect this to here. And if this is false, I'm going to set the static mesh. So I'm going to duplicate this. If that's true, I'm going to set the static mesh of this component to be equal to... It's getting a little...
Alright, let's see if it magically works now. No? Oh yeah, there it is. That looks like it's working. It still looks a little fucked, but better than it was before. How do I add another spline point? I'm doing alt-click. Oh, there we go. Ugh. Oh, the ball should drop there? Alright, well, let's put it... Let's just... I don't want to do anything different from what he's doing. Let's just... What? Ah, the opening. Yes. Yeah. We'll do all the customizations when we're finally done with all of this. It's just so tempting to do it, you know?
Compile. I'm going to set this to be rail end.
Yeah.
And... Oh.
Let's go back.
So if I look...
Oh, wait. His looks like that, too. So, yeah, you're probably right. It's probably like the end where like it comes out.
Now, you can see that the end has
Yeah.
this shape. So if I look at what we've got here... Oh. I missed a piece. I'm going to go back to my construction script. And I'm going to set the default variable for the rail mid mesh.
Huh?
I'll save. And if I look at this in the world, I'm going to go into unlit so you can see it a bit better. You can see that this opening has that wide section that we had created.
Look at that wide opening right there.
And that the end section
wide
now has
open.
this cap on it. Which means if I wanted to, I could actually have this up here and the ball would still fall out. Which would be some nice behavior, because it would go and drop.
That's a nice behavior.
So that's the first section, but let's actually get this working a little bit nicer. They're going to two extra...
Man. Oh yeah, dude, it's super cheap. I don't think I paid more than like 12 bucks for this shit. It's yeah, I forgot how much I paid for it, but here, let me see. Purchase history. So, yeah, I paid 10 bucks. Pretty cheap. Pretty cheap. I'll send you the link if you want the link. Static. I think this is it. Do I get like a promo code for this shit? Like, hey, thanks for promoting. Here's $5 off your next class or something. I don't see it. Whatever. It's cheap anyways. Oh, wait, no, I do have a promo code. There we go. Keep learning. That's what it is. I think that should work. Anyways.
Little features that I'm going to add. The first is that if it's the Rails start mesh, I want to have the ability to set a custom scale for the mouth of it. So to do that, all I need to do is get a reference to the current mesh component that we're looking at, which I can get from here. So I'm going to get this, and I'm going to set scale, and
what?
I'm going to set the
Start scale? The fuck? Am I grabbing the wrong one?
is that if it's the Rails start mesh, I want to have the ability to set a custom scale for the mouth of it. So to do that, all I need to do is get a reference to the current mesh component that we're looking at, which I can get from here. So I'm going to get this, and I'm going to set scale, and I'm going to set the...
That's not an option for me. Set scale. Oh, there it is. The fuck? Wasn't showing up before.
Start scale if it is the start mesh. So I'm going to plug that in. Plug this into here.
You know where I'm gonna plug it into? I'm gonna plug that into here. See what I did there?
Now since that's quite messy, I'm just gonna add a reroute node, pull it up and over.
Dude,
And
we're beyond messy right now.
I'm going to split this pin because it's looking for an X and a Y, but realistically I only really care about making it wider. I don't really want to make it taller as well, just wider. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split that, and I'm going to create a variable. So right click, promote to variable, and this is going to be called initial scale, and the default value here is going to be 1. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to set all of these variables that we've created to be editable.
Oh.
The reason for that is that by making them editable, I can now modify them from the default properties over here. So let's have a look at what happens when I change these.
No! What did I do? No. Ugh. Where is he? Modern art. Yeah. I don't know where he's looking at these, what did he do?
Initial scale. And the default value here is going to be 1.
Oh, I didn't do 1. See? Didn't do it. I missed that one. Oh, wait. It's already like that. Okay, never mind.
Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to set all of these variables that we've created to be editable.
Oh. I didn't do that one.
The reason for that is that by making them editable, I can now modify them from the default properties over here.
Oh. Hmm. Oh, there they are. I was wondering how you did that. Okay.
So let's have a look at what happens when I change these. If I set initial scale to 2, we now create a much wider initial section for the rail to potentially fall into. Sorry, for the ball to potentially fall into. So the ball's going to hit that, and then eventually it's going to get funneled into the rest of it. Now the other cool feature about this
Wait, hold on. Wait, whoa, time out. I don't have this initial scale he's talking about. My initial scale parameter is not viewable. Do I need to turn that one on too? Ah, look, I'm learning. I'm learning. Look at that. Look how janky that looks. Okay.
If I go to my assets, and I were to get some of these other assets, such as plastic ramp and plastic ramp N,
Plastic ramp.
as well as general ramp. Just going to import all with default setting. Now with these meshes imported, the reason
Why is this not letting me get my start menu? Plastic ramp, and yeah, I import them.
and this is super useful, is that if I wanted to, I could set these, just type in the word ramp, and I could set this to be plastic ramp. Oh, at which point we've got this.
Oh shit, now he's really going at it. Plastic. That looks kind of weird.
This. Or I could set it to be the version of it that has the word ramp, so I can see them all. I could set this to be the no top version. And then I could set the mid.
No top. I haven't imported that one yet. I mean, should I just import everything? Oh, no, I shouldn't. I shouldn't do that. I don't have that version. What is it? SM ramp? Oh, there it is. Oh. Look at that.
Pieces, or the end piece, to be their own thing as well. So if I
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
If I go to here, ramp, I could then set this to be no top. At which point we end up with this nice thing where the ball could roll.
Ramp. So what would I do? Just click that. This is the fun part. I'm excited. Yeah, this shouldn't be that big, this part. This has gotta be just big enough for the ball. And then I gotta grab this one, right? Wait. Why is this? Oh, I see. I seem to be having a problem here. Why is it? Oh, there we go. No, but I don't want this to be that. I need to add spline points. So what if I add trying. I probably don't need to do it that way, huh? I'm having a brain fart. What's happening here? Oh. Complex collision is my model vertex used for collision. Yeah, this looked kind of weird to me. I was like, this doesn't look right, but he was telling me to do that, so I don't know. It's still not working. My spline mesh component collision set? Where would I see that? Well, maybe that's further down the tutorial. Blueprint inside my construction script. Oh. Oh, that would do it. No collision set at all. So I don't want to put block all, right? So now should it work? Hey, look at that. It's doing it. Amazing. Oh, now it's stuck. Wait. There's not enough room for my ball. Really? The ball's that big? Hey, we're getting somewhere. Look at that. Oh, too much force. Should I get rid of that tracker? It's kind of annoying, isn't it? Oops. Yeah, Jester, are you like some sort of like secret genius? Are you? Because you seem to have the answers immediately. My computer's lagging for some reason. I'm feeling a lag. Is it hot? Your upload speed is crap? Your upload speed can't be worse than mine. What's your upload speed? Yeah, something's up. I'm running at 40 frames per second. Something is wrong. I don't know what. Oh, I'm back. Huh. Interesting. 512 kilobits. Alright, that is pretty bad. Why did I build that? No, don't do that. Stop it. No, don't do it. Do you live like in the woods? Are you using like satellite internet? Hey, is this collision setting intensive on processing? Because it seems like my my FPS is dropping a lot. Ever since we made that change. I think I might need to turn on my overclock. Why not? I overclock all the time. You don't like overclocking? I have proper cooling. There. I should read better now, no? Well, no, the reason my computer blue screens is because of my RAM. I have my it's not because of the overclocking. It's because of the RAM settings that my computer blue screens. Trust me. I have the RAM set up so it's got that I forgot what it's called. It's like it's a setting in the motherboard where you can like it's like dual channel, right? So it uses kind of like it sort of like synchronizes your memory. Overclocking works for me, man. I don't know. But yeah, the only time my computer blue screens is when I have that memory setting turned on, which has nothing to do with my graphics card. It's just it's I forgot what the fucking the term is called. Yeah, I think it's XMP. Windows hates that for some reason. No, but like the computer crashes, but the games run so much better when I turn that on. It's just like after a while it might blue screen. I notice a substantial difference when I have that turned on. I just don't understand why my FPS is like dropping right now. Yeah, I'm not doing anything too crazy right now. Hey, look. I'll show you. There's nothing revealing on this thing, is there? This is all I did. I didn't do anything crazy. But if see, I drop into Unreal Engine. No, stop it. Yeah, something in there is like really eating up my GPU. That's my graphics card. Let's put this back to simple. Let's see what happens. Well, it was. Cause nothing was dying before. I mean, maybe you're right, but let me just see. Yeah. So I'm basing it off of my my stream FPS. My stream FPS is back to 55, which is like better than it was before because it was like at 40. Still not great though. It's like hovering around 50. I don't know why the fuck is going on that's making it like do that. Does it still work with the simple what? Yeah, it's better. I mean, you should be noticing it because if my FPS was bad for the stream, then you would be seeing some stutter because it's using the GPU for the streaming. I don't know. I'll turn off the overclock. Let's just put it back to normal. Just put him to max. Oh, you mean like the collision settings? Yeah, let's just put it to max. No problem. Jeez, man, I don't know what... Eh. Well, I can't handle this. This should be running at 60 FPS. I don't understand why this is not running at 60. This is crazy. It shouldn't be running like shit like this. Let's just put like this stuff that doesn't matter. Let's just put it on low. Fuck it. Alright. That's a little bit too low. I want some... This is... Textures. Wait, what? This is way too low. We're not doing that. We gotta have some anti-aliasing and some shadows. That looks awful. Alright, that's fine. We can do that. That looks... Alright. Enough lollygagging here. What are we doing?
Roll in and then fall through, and it looks like it actually belongs on the stage. And it's something that we can easily then just expand on and modify and do all sorts of weird and wonderful things with it. So again, I can just click there, Alt drag. We can have some interesting setups, which is nice. All I need to do to really complete this feature is to set the materials on each of these three things, which I'm going to do very quickly, and set the collision for them. So by default, if I want to look at these, I'm going to quickly check out the collision, which I can see is wrong. I actually don't care about the collision on the top, so what I'm going to do is, for the time being, I'm going to disable collision on the top, and then I'm going to go collision and generate. Actually, I might just try 16, it'll probably be fine on this mesh. Apply, which will generate that. I'm going to re-enable collision, at which point I'm just going to quickly set the materials for each of these things. I'm going to set the roof to be white, I'm going to set the body to be yellow, save, and then I'm going to quickly run through and do that on the other meshes too. This can just be yellow as its general color.
Oh.
The other thing that I'm going to need to do again is check the collision. It's definitely wrong. I'm going to just do an auto generate of 16 as well. Going to save. And finally, I'm going to go for the ramp end, which is this one. Oops. Should be yellow. You should be white. Show my collision.
Them sliders for more accurate collision boxes.
And the one I want to get rid of is this one for the time being. Apply. And now you can see that we can have something that'll drop straight through. And we should be all set up. So the last thing that's super important when you set this up, that's very easy to miss, is go add spline mesh component, and I want you to go down here and look for the word collision, because by default collision presets are no collision. Instead I'm going to set this to block all. Compile, save. Now, when we want to test this at the end, I'm just going to drag in a ball so that we don't actually have to do any extra testing. Going to get this.
I already did it, buddy.
Drop a ball there so you can see what happens from the get-go. But you can see that the ball rolls in, falls through, and it's all set up. Nice little thing. So this can be used all across the board if you want to create walkways in your map, if you want to create all sorts of interesting things. It could be piping throughout the environment that you don't want to have to custom model and instead put in the hands of your level artist. There's plenty of times that this is going to be very useful. So always keep in mind that it's something that's very easy to create and leverage from.
I'm excited. Alright. Now we have to pay our child actors. Child clowns.
From the relative location
Child
of
clowns.
post 1 to the post location, I'm going to do it the other way around because we're going to be looking backwards. So I'm going
I shouldn't use it for everything, but there aren't as many rails visible. Yeah, I'm gonna dig into the whole all of like this performance related stuff when I'm done designing. We'll have to go through and fix all of the collision shit.
So we're gradually getting
You think it's better to address performance now?
through this now. However, the next thing for us to look at is going to be creating a drop target set. So essentially a set of letters that exist within the world that sit along some sort of rail. When each letter is taken out, they eventually give you a multiplier to your overall score from that point on. So the player's aim is going to be to knock down each of these letters. Now, I'm going to use this as a good opportunity to teach you about child actors, which is a great way for us to basically create one actor that can, in its construction script, generate many other actors that will then be placed within the world. So what we're going to do that is we're first off going to create a variable band that is a simple...
Yeah, I mean you're right. I'm having problems with one rail, but I'm already at like a stable 60 right now. So I fixed it to be pretty okay now.
That will have a starting position, an ending position, and a band between the two. At which point we're then going to have, after the variable band is created, a single drop target created, which is going to be a single object that has a letter on it. And then we're going to create a drop target set, which will be a blueprint.
Alright, let's see what he's doing.
I
want to know what he's doing.
That we've just created that will automatically
oh, this part. Yeah, right.
suit itself to the situation.
Okay, cool.
A set of letters that exist within the world that sit along some sort of rail. When each letter is taken out, they eventually give you a multiplier to your overall score from that point on. So the player's aim is going to be to knock down each of these letters. Now, I'm going to use this as a good opportunity to teach you about child actors, which is a great way for us to basically create one actor that can, in its construction script, generate many other actors.
We're going to tell you about the horrors of child acting. But to get a good collision for complex bend spline meshes is needed. So I gotta choose what I want and sacrifice a bit.
Actors that will then be placed within the world. So what we're going to do that is we're first off going to create a variable band that is a simple blueprint that will have a starting position, an ending position, and a band between the two. At which point we're then going to have, after the variable band is created, a single drop target created, which is going to be a single object that has a letter on it. And then we're going to create a drop target set, which will be a blueprint that is based upon variable band that will basically create a variable band. You type in a word and it will then automatically create drop targets to the size of that word along its frame. So let's begin. Now the first step that we're going to have is we're going to need to import some assets. And what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to implement the assets that are called SM Post Half. And the other one that I'm going to need to make sure that this works is SM Band Extender. So I'm just going to click on SM Post Half and I'm going to scroll up to SM Band Extender, control click.
Alright, let's grab them bitches. SM Post Half. That's a bad extent. What time is it? Oh, it's not that even that late. It's only... Okay.
I'm then just going to drag those two into import all. Default here should be fine. I'm just going to double click and check that the collision of this asset is fine. Should be correct. And also I'm going to go to my band extender.
I still don't understand why I would want simple collision over complex. Like, wouldn't I always want complex? I don't understand why. I mean, I guess it saves on performance, right? But it just seems like...
Collision. That'll actually be fine because we never expect the ball to go up or in between these, so that's totally fine. So,
The one thing that these, I think, might be doing it is I set the vertices to 32 and he had it at 16. So if I reduce it, that might help. And then maybe set it back to project default. Then maybe get rid of the simple collisions, right? Oh, Hole's Angel. You know what? You might be onto something there. Maybe you're right. It's just reviewing. I'm a fool. Hold on. Also, hello, welcome. So yeah, I'm following this tutorial on making a pinball game. I don't think you've been here before, so I'm all ears on suggestions. Dark Jester and Guerrero have been working with me to get this done. And it's been a struggle, but it's been cool. Let's just put it back on default. But yeah, if you have any suggestions on what to do, if you see something I'm doing wrong, you can always say something. I might listen to you, I might not. That doesn't seem like very much. Oh wait. I didn't save any of these things, did I? Okay, whatever I just did made my FPS drop again. It didn't like that. Hmm. But I like tabs. Maybe you're right. It's the tabs. Hey, there we go. Now it's running great. And Jester, like, you always have like the right answers there, man. I'm running at a solid 60 frames a second now. Yeah, I could probably put my settings back up. Let's put it back to like epic. There you go. Hey, look at that. Everything's back to normal. Okay.
From here on in,
I didn't think that they would take that much performance, though. That's crazy. Let's put it back to let's put it back to epic. Look at these epic graphics right now, man. That is amazing. What are they doing?
I'm going to go to blueprints, I'm going to right click, and we're going to create ourselves a new blueprint actor. Now, this blueprint actor is essentially going to be running a construction script that will create two ends and then a piece between the two of them. So I'm going to create a new actor, and I'm just going to call this BP underscore variable.
Wrong hole.
Let's open it up. And now, once it's up, let's have a look at what we have here. So at the moment, there's no asset here.
What do you call
it? It's just the default scene route. So I'm going to add a static mesh component.
BP
and this is going to be called
variable.
So post 1 is going to be set to post half, at which point you'll have this. Going to compile.
Yeah, it's the the Udemy tutorial by Chris Murphy. Have you done this before?
Let's open it up.
Sorry, I need to fix Stream Elements. Stream Elements is like way more annoying than Nightbot. I'm just too lazy to deal with it.
And now, once it's up, let's have a look at what we have here. So at the moment, there's no asset here. It's just the default scene route. So I'm going to add a static mesh component.
Yes.
And this is going to be called post 1. So post 1 is going to be set to post half.
Post 1.
Which one you'll have this.
Post.
I'm going to compile, save, and then I'm going to go to my construction script. Now within my construction script, what we want to do is we want to essentially have a location in the world that is going to be the post location. We're then going to set post 1's rotation to face that location. We're then going to add a static mesh at that location, which will be the secondary post. And then finally, we're going to add a static mesh that will stretch between the two of them, that will be the band itself. So the first part there is going to be for us to add a variable that will be called post location. And it's going to be effector. Compile, save. Now this vector is going to be set so that it can be editable, and as well as that I'm going to show the 3D widget. Finally, I think I'll set the X to be by default.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Is going to be set so that it can be editable, and as well as that I'm going to show the 3D widget. Finally, I think I'll set the X to be by default 200. Compile.
Oh, right. Oh. Okay, there we go. File, save. Report. Should this not be an array? I feel like this is... Oh. Yeah, it's weird. He's using like an older version, right? And on his, it like shows the array icon, but it's not an array. Like this is... I don't get it. So I get confused with that. Yeah, that's why I always look. I look at the first icon. But then this is the symbol of an array. But it's not an array. So... See, I mean, I'll show you. Like, he has this one, array. And now it's an array. But now this is both an array and array, so... But if I set it to there... It's just... Sometimes it's kind of annoying to have the old one.
Oh, save. Now if I look at what that looks like in the world now, I can drag this in.
BP, variable, band. There it is.
And you'll see that we have this nice little post location widget here.
It's an old bug. That's how I can tell them apart, huh? Well.
And I can drag it around, although right now it won't do anything, but that's okay. So the next element is going to be getting this asset, post 1, getting post...
What? Post 1.
Location, which is the area that we want to work with, where the new post will be created. And
Wow.
essentially all we're going to be doing is set rotation of post 1. You can see that one is called set relative rotation.
Set rotation.
At which point I'm going to simply drag off of post 1, get relative location, and then there's a nice little function called find look at rotation.
Relative.
And I'm going to connect that to post location. So it's going to find the rotation that is required
Wait.
to look...
No. I did it wrong. That's alright. I'm such an idiot. What did you do?
I'm going to...
That's a lot better than it used to be. Well, I'm happy about that.
Drag off of post 1, get relative location.
Oh, that's what you did. Get relative location.
And then there's a nice little function called find look at rotation.
Find.
And I'm going to connect that to post location. So it's going to find the rotation that is required to look between this position and this position. And if I was to then connect this to here, compile, save, you'll notice that now in the world, wherever I put this part of the widget, you'll notice the rotation that is required to look between this position and this position. And if I was to then connect this to here, compiles.
Hey, this song's pretty good. What is this? Night Melody by Rival Consoles. Huh? I like it.
Save. You'll notice that now in the world, wherever I put this part of the widget, this is all.
Oh, yeah, it's looking at him. Hey, hey, hey. Alley Cat Pro. What's going on? Welcome. I'm making a pinball game. So yeah, you've arrived at an exciting point. We got through a lot of the boring stuff with the help of Guerrero and Dark Jester, and you can't see the chat. What do you mean?
Always going to face it. You see how that's rotating to face our actor?
I do see
That's
that.
the first step. Now that we've done that, we're going to create a new static mesh component. So I'm going to right click and add static mesh component.
Add static mesh component.
At which point the relative transform.
You can't see your text on your browser? I don't know. I feel like Twitch has been kind of like glitchy lately. I don't know if is that for you? Has that been happening for you guys? Like everything takes longer to load. Maybe it's my browser.
Is going to be equal to the post location, and the rotation by default is going to be set up as a opposite of this find lookout rotation. So I'm going to get my relative transform, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag off of it and type in the word make.
Make. Twitch is difficult to manage, and yeah, I think it is. Not enough game developers, huh? I'm trying to be a game developer. One day.
Now it needs a few things here. First off, we have the location, which is easy, so I'm going to connect post location to the location. The next section is it's going to require a rotation, so I'm going to get my find lookout rotation.
No, stop it. So I'm working on a tutorial. That's a Udemy tutorial on making a pinball game. Eventually, it's going to look like. Wait, let's remember where I am. 28. Eventually, it's going to look like this.
Start falling down and bounce off particle systems to here and set.
So yeah, except I'm going to put my own graphics. It's not going to have the same design. So we're almost there though. So far, this is what we have. It. God damn it. Wait. And But like I said, I've just been following this like step by step. So I haven't really been creating anything, right? So wait, why is it not? Fuck. What the hell's going on here? We need to move this thing. Mock-up artwork? I haven't made any mock-up artwork yet, no. Yeah, it seems like a lot of the pinball video games are kind of lame. I don't understand why. Like, they're okay, but... I don't know if I can make anything groundbreaking, but... I do have an idea. But I need to learn a shit ton more if I'm ever going to be able to make it. Did I make the hole smaller? Oh, I guess I did, huh? Wow. So yeah, you can do this. What the fuck? What is this stuck on? Why you do this? Oh, whatever. Oh, yeah, you're right. It probably is fucked for that one, huh? Well, we'll fix it later. Michael, hello.
From the relative location of...
Yeah, I have been grinding at this for a while now. Slowly. It's been definitely a grind. Jester and Guerrero saw me suffer through making this just a stupid fucking menu. I was getting really frustrated with it. But yeah. But welcome. Yeah, if you have any tips and suggestions on this tutorial or what I'm doing, feel free to throw in your 2 cents. Or if you want, like Stream Elements is saying, you can go on my Discord and drop any videos or things that have inspired you, or things you might, that might help me. I am trying to sort of like build a little community of people to like help each other out.
Rotation. So I'm going to get my find lookout rotation. But this time, instead...
Yeah, I'm gonna change everything. The master plan here is that I'm gonna finish this tutorial, and then after that, I'm gonna go in and make this look pretty and like a real machine. I don't know if I'm gonna make it look exactly like a real machine though. I might. I don't know. We'll see when we get there, you know.
Instead of looking from the relative... First off, we have a location, which is easy, so I'm going to connect post location to the location. The next section is, it's going to require a rotation, so I'm going to get my find lookout rotation. But this time, instead of looking from the relative location of post 1 to the post location, I'm going to do it the other way around, because we're going to be looking backwards. So, I'm going to get this, and I'm just going to duplicate these so it's just a little bit cleaner in the graph. Connect those two, and I'm just going to set that as a rotation.
What?
So with those two in mind, compile, save.
No.
If I was to look
no.
around, because we're going to be looking backwards.
Okay.
So.
See, this guy, he has this habit of like speeding ahead. Like, he's like, I'm going to do this, and then he starts doing it, and I'm like, okay, wait, you need to calm down.
I'm going to get this, and I'm just going to duplicate these so it's just a little bit cleaner in the graph. Connect those two, and I'm just going to...
See, I fucked it up. You used to play pinball machines a lot when you were young, and it was always about multi-ball to get that extra ball. Yeah, I've been really getting into pinball machines lately. There's just something satisfying about it, and it kind of started when at my work we got a pinball machine, and so every time I was on break I'd just go to the pinball, and because it's free, I'm just like, oh man, this is great. I guess that was always my problem. I didn't want to spend money on it.
Set that as a rotation.
Because you have to pay like $1 every time, and then you lose and the ball goes away, and it's just like so not satisfying.
So with those two in mind, compile, save. If I was to look at my viewport, we're missing one thing. And what we're missing here
I feel like I didn't get
connect
everything
those
right.
two, and I'm just going to set that as a rotation. So with those two in mind, compile, save. If I was to look at my viewport, we're
Yeah. Yeah, and pinball, the thing about pinball machine like video games, it's not the same at all. Like there's something about the satisfaction of like feeling the balls bounce around. You know what? I'm not going to continue with that. But
missing one.
you know what I mean.
And what we're missing here is we don't actually have the mesh set. So while I could set this mesh manually by clicking here and then just plugging it in, I think it's a good idea for us to make sure that the two posts always match one another.
It's so satisfying,
I'm gonna
those
drag
balls,
in
you
a
know?
reference to post 1, and off of the static mesh component, I'm going to type in set static mesh.
You have a Super Meat Boy emote? Man. Oh, that's part of the Twitch Global? Oh, okay. Man. Wait, so are you a developer, or are you also a game developer? Do you make games?
At which point, I'm going to connect this
Wait,
to the mesh of post 1.
what happened here? Oh. You own a studio. Oh, man. Oh, I don't want that. No, don't do that. Well, what studio is it? Is that may I know that information, or is it top secret? Oh, it did it for me. Look at that.
Post 1 is a static mesh component reference, so I need to drag off of that and say get static mesh to find the actual mesh involved. And now, upon connecting those...
Wait, time out. No. Wait, what? Oh. Okay. Twitch life is worse than real life? Why is it? What do you mean it's worse than real life?
So I need to drag off of that and say get static mesh to find the actual mesh.
Get static mesh. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's why I had that tone of voice. I know people value their privacy on here. I understand. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's totally understandable.
Involved. And now, upon
But I appreciate
connecting
you
those,
stopping by and hanging out.
save, you'll notice that we now have a post here and a post here, and in between them we have nothingness. But they're actually facing one another. So we're
Wait, what happened? So there's two of them now? Oh, look at that. Oh. Yeah, you don't want to freak out legal.
wherever I move this widget to,
That would not be good. Hey, look at that. It's doing stuff.
it's going to automatically face home, which is exactly what we want. So, how do we put the band between them? Well, that's rather simple. If I was to look at the band extender, you can see with how this is set up in the world that this comes directly from here. And what that means is we can actually do an offset directly from that location. So we can add the band extender in and automatically just stretch it across. I'll show you how to...
By the way, the reason I keep looking up is because my chat is up. You see, the slightest thing they make it sound like it's going... You'll be going home in the courthouse for the next 10 years.
That's going to
Yeah.
work in just a moment. So within variable bend, what we're going to do is...
Yeah, my full-time job, I work for a self-driving car company, and it's the same way. I can't tell anybody anything. Although they seem to be telling everybody everything, so I don't know.
We're going to once again add a static mesh component. So I'm going to right click, add static mesh component. I'm going to connect these two up.
Huh? Add static mesh component.
And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to set this, I know I do want this to always be the band, so I'm going to just set it to band extender. Now its relative transform is going to be the same transform as post.
Is now
So I'm going
following.
to get this.
Yay!
And
Thanks, Alley Cat. Appreciate it.
I'm just going to say get relative transform.
Wait, what? Get relative. Wait, oh, she pulled it off of there, right? Get relative. I guess I could have just done that. And what, put that here?
So now that that's set, what I'm going to do is
No, 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 no.
I know band extender is exactly 100 units long. So from
Wait, did I do the static mesh right?
transform as post is I'm going to set in variable bend. What we're going to do is we're going to once again add a static mesh component. So I'm going to right click, add static mesh component. I'm going to connect these two up. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to set this, I know I do want this to always be the band, so I'm going to just set it to band extender. Now its relative transform is going to be...
Okay, so I did it. Okay.
So now that that's set, what I'm going to do is I know band extender is exactly 100 units long. So from here to here is 100 units, which means at a scale of 1 on the x-axis, it is 100 units long, which allows me to do the math backwards to work out what scale it would need to be to connect the two locations. And that's actually rather simple math here. All I need to do is get the static mesh component, and I need to set the relative scale 3D. And the scale is going to be equal to the Y and Z scale. So I'm going to drag off of this transform and just do break.
Wait, hold on. What song? I like this song. What is this? Alessandro Cortini. I like it. I'm gonna add it to my playlist.
Split the scale, and I'm going to split this scale as well. Now the reason
What?
I'm doing
Wait, what?
Z scale, so I'm going to drag off of this transform and just do a break, and I'm going to
Break.
split the scale, and I'm going to split this scale as well. Now the reason I'm doing this is when I set the scale here, I want my Y scale and my Z scale to be exactly what I had them set as. However, I want my X scale to be equal to, this is where the math comes in, it's going to be equal to post 1's relative location, so that relative location, minus, so vector minus vector, the post location. So by getting those two and subtracting one from the other, and then getting the length, oops, not get path length, get vector length,
What?
it actually tells me how long the distance is. Like
No, calm down. Calm down. You need to calm down.
So vector minus vector, the post location.
Vector
so
minus
by
vector.
getting those two and subtracting one from the other, and then getting the length, oops, not get path length.
Yeah, you need to calm down, bro. Put this. And then what? Set that to X?
Get vector length.
Oh.
It actually tells me how long the distance is, like how far the distance is
Vector
between those
length.
two locations. Just gonna add some reroute nodes here so I can make this a little bit neater. And because that tells me
Neater.
the distance, all I need to do
Who needs
is
that?
divide that by 100, which we know is equal to a scale of 1, and connect it to here. Now,
Divide it.
compile, save, and if I look at this, you can now see that wherever I put this asset,
Is that
automatically extending the band between those two
vector
locations,
float?
which is fantastic.
No.
The final thing that automatically do is divide that.
Oh, float. My bad. I thought it was float, but look, I'm not good at math, okay? I'm not a math person. I'm just following instructions.
By 100, which we know is equal to a scale of 1, and connect it to here. Now, compile.
Okay.
Save. And if I look at this, you can now see
Oh shit, it's a rubber band.
that wherever I put this asset,
Wow.
it's automatically extending the band between those two locations, which is fantastic. The final thing that I need to do here to make everything okay is to simply go into the actual assets themselves and set them up to be just a little bit prettier. So I'm going to open up the band extender. I'm just going to set it to be white. Save.
I don't really care about the color of this right now, but okay. He did color these ones. He had it as yellow. Simple plastic yellow. Hey, you know, color coding it might be good. Because then we'll know exactly which one it is. Is there like a red? Blue? That's not blue. So the white. Oh, it is blue. Dude, it wasn't loading. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. So pretty. That just looks so nice. And you know what we'll do is, oops, no, don't do it, no, don't do it, no. Okay. Is there green? Yeah. I will set this one to white. Shouldn't this just be set to mid? Oh. Wait. Did I not? I don't like this song. I don't like this song. No.
I'm also going to set post half to be equal to, you can see what each of these are if we're not sure, remember that?
So now we'll know exactly what's causing problems.
So I can go highlight this. So that's the main base. I'm going to tell this to be blue. I'm going to tell this to be white, same as the other asset. So simple white. And finally, I'm going to tell this section here to be simple metal, which is the cap. Save. And now if I see them in the world, I have a rather simple asset that we've just created that will automatically suit itself to the situation. Now the next element is going to be adding the child actors to the variable band to automatically place themselves along this line here.
Metal.
Yes, I'm going. But you could do me one great favor before I go. Would you mind very much if I kissed you goodbye?
No, I wouldn't mind.
You'd understand, would be.
Yes, I understand.
Wait, so is this a rubber band already? Can I like bounce the ball on it? No, okay. I didn't think so. Oh shit. Man, look what I just did there. That ball's gone. Oh wait, we were gonna put an invisible block, weren't we? So that doesn't happen anymore? Why don't we, we'll just, duplicate this, huh? And then, Hey, it's back in there. Look at that. So there's something wrong with the green one.
Yes, I'm going. But you could do me one great favor before I go.
Well, that's jammed right in there.
Would you mind very much if I kissed you goodbye?
No, I wouldn't mind.
You'd understand, wouldn't you?
Yes, I understand. Just a kiss. That's all.
Yes.
Something tells me it's this one. Is there a way to see collisions, like, not just in, here? Like I see it in the game? Man, this thing really hates that. Oh, that's right. I have a bunch open. I forgot about that. I don't understand why this isn't big enough. Oh wait, there's not enough space for the ball to move after that. Not enough momentum. Problem is the way spline mesh components works. It deforms the model with the aid of its vertices, but the generated collision model has no additional vertices to allow precision deforming, which results in deformed collisions. Right, so the collisions I'm seeing on here are not what I'm seeing when I deform it. Is there a way to see the collisions? Like... Oh. Wait. Can I see it with lit? Oh, I see it. I see it. Oh, there it is. It's the blue one. You son of a bitch. It's totally blocking it. Get out of there. You know what? Excellent. Oh wait, there's no collision over here now, is there? I thought this was also collision though, wasn't it? Yeah, the back wall is missing. Looks like it's working now, though, right? Yay. Whew. I think I need a beverage. I'm gonna be right back. Where Where's my BRB? I need a drinky poo. In the meantime, I'm gonna put something interesting on. You know what? I changed my mind. It's not gonna be interesting. But I'm gonna change the song. Okay. I like this song. Alright, stop it. Yeah, that's a good song. Ghost in the Shell. Now, back to our shish kebabs. I really don't like having to look up all the time, so I'm just going to... I think we got through a lot of difficult things. I don't think I need to full screen this anymore. Maybe I can make this a little bit smaller, so I can still read the chat. So I think we're part B of hiring child actors. Oh geez, this is a long one. 22 minutes of child acting.
So we've gone and we've created a nice, simple variable actor, the variable band. And it's time that we now create the drop targets that we're eventually going to align along this. So the drop target's rather simple to create, but the first element of this is we need to, as always, import the mesh. So I'm going to open up my files, and I'm just going to get sm_drop target and pop it into here. Import. So we've got our drop target. I know from the beginning that I want this to just be simple, white plastic. Doesn't have to be amazing. Save. So we've got ourselves the basic mesh. Let's go to blueprints. Let's right click and let's create ourselves a new blueprint class. And it's going to be an actor called BP_drop target. So the drop target is going to be relatively simple. It's going to have a couple of little things though that we need to really consider. Now the first thing is we need to set ourselves up with a function that will drop the target.
I don't want to consider anything, ever. Okay? We're never going to consider it. So I would like to finish part B of child acting today, but I do need to go to bed pretty soon. I don't think it's going to happen.
Plastic. Doesn't have to be amazing. Save. So we've got ourselves... So the drop target's rather simple to create, but the first element...
Which one was it he put in? Was it, drop target?
This is we need to, as always, import the mesh. So I'm going to open up my files, and I'm just going to get sm_drop target and pop it into here. So we've got our drop target. I know from the beginning that I want this to just be simple, white plastic. Doesn't have to be amazing. Save. So we've got ourselves the basic mesh. Let's go to blueprints. Let's right click and let's create ourselves a new blueprint class. And it's going to be an actor called BP_drop target. So the drop target is going to be relatively simple. It's going to have a couple of little things though that we need to really consider. Now the first thing is we need to set ourselves up with a function that will drop the target and a function that will reset the target. So that's rather simple. First off, I'm going to add a component which is going to be a static mesh. I'm not going to set it to be the root, it's just going to be sitting above the root, and it's going to be called DT mesh, which stands for drop target mesh. set that up as my drop target mesh. I'll save.
DT mesh.
And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to right click, create a custom event, and this is going to be called drop.
Akita Games. The man, the legend. What happened? Drop. Guerrero was here earlier. I don't know if he stepped away. He might be lurking. Yeah, looks like he's lurking. Oh yeah, of course. I'm not that popular where I have to filter people's links out. Quixel joins forces with Epic Games. Oh, shit. What? Megascans are all free now? Oh no. How can they afford that? Are you serious? First of all, blah 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 blah. Becomes free for use. What? If you're using Megascans, you get free. Wow. You're using my only. If you're using Megascans only with UE4, we'll refund you all your subscriptions. Oh man, those people are probably happy. It's not cheap, is it? Dang. Wait, let's watch the video.
Hi everyone, Teddy here. I have some exciting.
Well, why are you pissed? That means you're getting all your money back, right? Or did you use it without? Did you use it for other things besides UE4?
News to share with you today. First of all, I'm proud to say that we're joining forces with Epic Games for what is the next step to democratize high-quality content and technology. For the past decade, we've traveled to every corner of the world to build Megascans, and we have created tools that help artists focus on art. Our mission is to scan the world and to build an ecosystem that unlocks AAA level artistry for everyone. As part of Epic, not only can we greatly accelerate our mission, but also give back to you, our community, in ways we simply couldn't have done on our own. I'm beyond excited to announce that with the back...
Don't worry about it, Akita. It's like bedtime for me anyways. I had some high hopes of finishing this part B, but it's a 22-minute, which usually translates to like an hour. It's like 10 minutes is 20 minutes or half an hour. 22 minutes is like an hour.
Backing up Epic Games,
So this is really cool.
The pricing of Megascans in half, giving you nearly twice as much content to download, and removing the resolution cap for everyone, regardless of what engine, DCC, or renderer you love and rely on. We're also giving you a full refund for your last subscription purchase this year when you upgrade to this new plan. You'll find all the details in the description. But that's not all. Epic is helping us make the upcoming 2020 versions of Bridge and Mixer free for everyone, with no subscription required and both fully featured. We're releasing these new free versions within a few weeks from now.
This is going to be so
as part of
insane.
a massive update to both tools. But now, to the biggest announcement of them all. The Megascans library is now completely free for all Unreal Engine users. That means free, unlimited, instant access to all of Megascans through Bridge and Mixer, and a wealth of Megascans packs on the Unreal Marketplace. And just like for the new subscription plans, if you switch to this new free Unreal 4 engine only plan, you will be fully refunded for your last subscription purchase this year. And lastly, I'm thrilled to finally be able to share with you the updates that are coming to the 2020 versions of Bridge and Mixer. Bridge 2020 brings you a massively
Dude,
improved browsing experience.
what?
Designed
What if I had Megascan items in the pinball machine? That'd be so cool. Like a, oh man.
to save you as much time as humanly possible, and to help inspire you creatively. Browsing has become much more visual, relevant, and
Yeah.
fun. What's more, we've implemented an AI search feature that finds all the assets of any image that you feed it, essentially making environment planning much easier, whether you have a real-world reference or concept art. At last, Mixer 2020 now introduces 3D painting, smart materials, and so much more.
What?
Quickly paint and texture your custom assets, leveraging the entire Megascans library, PBR painting, and procedural controls.
Oh
You can also
shit.
take any Megascans asset and completely make it your own. Conforming the entire library to your own style is now fully possible.
That's all free?
Create tellable surfaces with ease by mixing scan data, procedural elements, sculpting, and painting. Whether you need to create organic or hard surface textures, the powerful Smart Material system allows you to texture any 3D asset in no time. You can also create your own smart materials to completely unify the appearance of multiple, wildly differing assets. Here, we've conformed a few gray rocks
What are they
to match
doing?
a sandstone desert look. The new free Mixer and Bridge 2020
They're
will
gonna
release
destroy
later this year,
everybody
so
now.
sit
Everyone,
tight.
like,
We're extremely excited to hear what you think. When you marry the Megascans ecosystem with Unreal Engine 4, amazing synergies happen. Fire up the engine, get a jump start with the library, and quickly bring in your custom assets for the final touch. All for free.
dang.
What you're seeing is just a glimpse into the potential we're giving to artists, and how they leverage Megascans and Unreal to create beautiful worlds.
Dude.
And lastly, I want to say thank you to you, our customers, our community.
Man, he's got big pupils.
You've made this journey for us so much more meaningful, and your love, support, and passion has meant everything to us.
Ruined my day. What the hell are you talking
And we
about?
couldn't be more excited to now become
I'm
part of Epic,
I'm
because
like
now
way
we can
more
give
pumped
back
up
in
now.
ways that we never could have dreamt of before. So thank you very much, and see you next time.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely gonna go to sleep. I'm definitely sleeping. But that's crazy. This was just announced today? Oh yeah, November 12th. Thank God it's not Adobe. That's a good one, Akita. Megascan's now free? This is a huge step. Thank God we're not in April, otherwise I couldn't believe it. Wow. Some people shit on Fortnite, but we all know its success is one of the reasons. Huh. Really? You think so? I guess Fortnite did pump a lot of money into this, huh? Whatever. Damn. Well, that is crazy. This is great news. I'm gonna like fucking install this shit immediately. But yeah, Akita, I wanted to say, now that you're here, I wanted to say thanks for having me on auto host. It's been really helpful in like getting people to notice me and getting some more help and stuff like that. So I did want to say thanks for that. That's super awesome. You hate my desktop background. Why? I like it. Oh, you can't see my login. The Doppler effect? What do you mean? What Doppler effect? Oh. Why I'm see-through? Why is my music not playing anymore? I don't like complete silence. I liked that background. That's sort of like my brand. Doppler effect depiction. Yeah, I like optical illusions. I like messing with your mind, you know. I wanted to make. That's why I gave up on creating unique titles for my streams. I gave up on. I'm just like, everything is a line. All of it. Everything is just lines everywhere. I'm just like, I couldn't stand trying to come up with some new title every day. I'm just like, I'm doing this. Oh, doing that. I'm like, you know, fuck it. It's just lines. All of it. All the time. You'll see what I'm doing. Where, what's my Epic login? Also, ignore Nightbot. See, I had this strategy where, I thought I would turn Nightbot into a troll. So then no one would ever even think about trolling. Not that it's a problem, but... Quixel email, Epic email, link accounts. So I'm linking my Quixel account right now. Get unlimited access. It's done. I just did it. Look at all of the things. Shut up. Free? What do you mean? It's all free. Man, this is gonna be nuts, man. Ocean. You like my emote? I drew it myself. Hazelnut. See, this is what I need right now. Look, watch. Pipes. I need pipes. I can use the pipes for the Acquired. It's a small pipe, but can't I just make it bigger? I can make the ball smaller. It's all relative, right? They have art in here? What? Cardboard. Dude, this is gonna change the entire gaming industry. Like, if everybody has access to, like, HD content, then like people can finally focus on stories again instead of wasting all their stupid money on graphics. Like, I feel like that's the problem lately, is that people just focus on everything looking realistic and they lose focus on the story or whatever, the gameplay and stuff. If you don't need to think about that, then you can just fucking just go for it. Yeah, this is gonna be neat. I'm excited. But I need to add it to my, I need to add it as an extension, right? Megascans. Well, we'll save it for another day. We'll save it for, we'll save it for the next stream. Next stream. Maybe I'll try to do it offline. I'll connect Megascans. Are you gonna be streaming now, Akita? No. You're at work. Oh. What time is it over there? I always forget where you are. You're in Finland, right?
It's 2 o'clock. 14:05. Check.
Oh. That's weird. Yeah. I think we're going to end it on that note. This is a good note to end it on. Some positive inspiration. Why were you having a heart attack? What? Oh. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. I'm excited. This is like a international birthday present. It's like whee! It's gonna be good. I'm glad I started getting into this. This is gonna be a lot better for me too. Cause I really wanted to play with Megascans, but my free trial was over already, and I just didn't have enough time to play with it. So I am pumped. Yeah. I'm sorry, Akita. My Nightbot's really annoying. I'm gonna fix it this week at some point. I need to change the timing because I have everything set to like 5 seconds. I'm trying to make it more conversational, you know? I think if I change the timing of it, maybe like 5, 10, 20 seconds, it'll seem a little bit more natural. But I think what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna find a video. I don't know. What about home? Vaporwave. No. This would look pretty interesting. And then, I don't want that. No, why is it doing that? Well, that's annoying. Alright, Kita. I'll see you later. Thanks for the info. I'm excited about it. It's gonna be good. What is going on here? Oh, that's why I can't see it. I need to set this thing to turn this on.